What's up, Money Minds, and welcome back to another video edition of Market Briefs Video Edition. Today is November 3rd. Without further ado, let's jump into it. The S&P 500 hit another record high on Tuesday. That is just one day after all three major indexes closed at all-time highs. Investors are now considering the Federal Reserve's key decision today, and corporate earnings remain strong across the board. But with all of this positivity yesterday, we are still a bit confused. Tesla sank after Elon Musk tweeted saying that the rental contract with Hertz has not officially been signed yet. Next up is our financial tip of the day. We've actually got two for you. Number one, track your spending. Know every single dollar that you earn and know exactly where those dollars are going. Number two, only buy what you can afford. The rule here is if you can't afford 5 of them, then you can't afford 1 of them. And we know that might sound extreme, but this will save you a ton of money in the future. If you're looking for some more great tips on how to budget and save money, our team wrote an article on this exact topic over on theminoritymindset.com, and I will leave a link to that article in the description below. In our market recap for November 2nd, the Dow ended the day 138 points higher. The S&P 500 jumped around 0.37%, an intraday record, and the tech-focused Nasdaq pushed higher as well. All three major indexes closed at all-time highs back on Monday. On the flip side though, the small cap Russell 2000 was flat for the day after jumping around 2.6% on Monday. Overall though, in 2021, the Dow is up by 17%. The S&P 500 has grown by 22%, and the Nasdaq is up by around 21%. In our first main story of the day today, we've got to talk all about the Federal Reserve. But before we get into all of that, my name is Nate from Minority Mindset News, and if you like this video, make sure to smash that thumbs up button below and hit that notification bell too. That way YouTube shows our videos to way more money minds around the world. We can keep making videos just like this one. Investors are looking for any type of clue for when the Federal Reserve will start to hike interest rates back to pre-pandemic levels. Today, the Fed is expected to announce when it will start tapering its $120 billion per month bond purchases. The Fed started buying bonds back in 2020 in order to support the economy. The biggest story for markets is what the Fed has to say about inflation, and if it gives any sort of hint about when rates will go back up. The market is expecting a more aggressive response from the Federal Reserve this time around since inflation has become even more popular. Specifically, traders are anticipating around 2 to 3 interest rates hikes in 2022. This is even though the Fed has only said it would raise rates around 1 time next year. In September of this year, inflation rose at its fastest rate since January of 1991. And according to a CNBC survey, 60% of respondents believe that inflation is a big enough problem in America that the Fed should actually stop all of its asset purchases right now. And next up, we've got some key earnings reports for you. 2 very different companies reported results for their previous fiscal quarter. Under Armour, the athletic apparel retailer, soared after it beat estimates on the top and bottom lines. Under Armour was one of Tuesday's top performers on the New York Stock Exchange. The company also raised its outlook for the rest of fiscal 2021. It predicts sales will rise about 25% from its 2020 numbers. On the other hand, we've got BP. BP beat estimates as oil prices continue to rise. But the British energy giant reported a headline loss of around $2.5 billion for the third quarter due to adverse fair value accounting effects. Switching gears though, BP laid out an extensive plan to reduce oil and gas production by 40% and to boost spending on low carbon energy to produce around $5 billion per year. However, oil companies were excluded from this week's COP26 climate summit in Glasgow. That is it for our main 2 stories of the day today. So let's take a quick break to talk about today's sponsor, M1 Finance. In case you didn't know, most brokerages will charge you every single time you invest more money. But the thing is, M1 Finance is not like most brokerages. They let you invest passively without paying a single fee in commission. Investing with M1 Finance is as easy as 1. Just pick your pie. That will show M1 Finance exactly how you want your money to be invested. Number 2, set up automatic deposits. That way, every single time you get paid, some of that money will go towards your investments. And 3, just sit back and let the market do its thing without worrying about commissions. You can open a free investment account with M1 Finance, so if you're interested in doing so and want to learn more about what they're all about, I'll leave a link in the description below on exactly how you can find them. Big shout out to M1 Finance for sponsoring this video. But now, back to the news. The Squid Game crypto dropped to $0 in value after the game developers cashed out, taking around $2.1 million. Squid was trading at around $2,861 before dropping to zero yesterday. Fun fact though, this scam is called a rug pull. This is when creators cash out of all crypto tokens in exchange for real money, sending the crypto's value plummeting. CoinMarketCap warned investors that Squid was most likely a scam due to its website having multiple spelling errors and the fact that investors could only buy the crypto but not sell it. The crypto was inspired by Netflix's hit show Squid Game, which raked in over 111 million viewers since its September release, and it is the platform's biggest launch ever. Next up, Zillow needs to sell about $2.8 billion worth of houses after purchasing way too many. The company doesn't just list houses anymore. It has been working to buy and flip these houses too. But it looks like they went a bit overboard. Due to the hot house summer, Zillow bought in excess of around 7,000 houses, thinking the market wouldn't cool down before the fall. But it did. Zillow is now targeting institutional investors to buy up its supply, although many of the company's flipping deals have actually turned into losses instead of profits. The company said last month it will not be buying any more houses to flip anytime soon. In our Pick Your Brain section, this is going to sound a bit familiar, but shares of Avis doubled yesterday after the rental car company reported a massive earnings beat. The company reported about $10.74 per share in earnings for the third quarter, beating the estimate by more than $4 per share. Revenue also topped expectations, and Avis was up over 200% at one point in the day. Next up is our Money Mind section, where we pull comments directly from you all on our YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok accounts. Today's comment is from Gracie Allen on our YouTube channel, and the comment reads, "Unfortunately today, it takes way more than $1 million in order to retire. It looks like it really is getting much harder to retire. That is, if you think like the majority. If you think like the minority, on the other hand, we made a video over on the main Minority Mindset YouTube channel with none other than Kevin O'Leary. It goes over the 3 steps you need to take in order to gain $1 million. So if you're interested in watching that video, I will leave a link to it in the description below. Money Minds, we are nearing the end of today's Market Briefs newsletter, but here's just a few more things to keep in mind. Bezos pledged around $2 billion to protect the environment and transform food systems. It came just one day after Elon said he would end world hunger. Another thing to keep in mind this week is that world-famous director Quentin Tarantino is hopping on the NFT train, selling 7 uncut scenes from Pulp Fictions as NFTs. In addition, Meta, is planning on shutting down its facial recognition program. It will delete over 1 billion facial recognition templates. And one last thing to keep in mind this week is that the owner of Alvin and the Chipmunks is looking to sell the franchise for around $300 million. Any takers? But that is it for today's business and financial news. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. Keep hustling, Money Minds, and I'll see you all in the next one.